This house was once home to over 200 people, and for over 150 years, it had one thing in common with all of them. No one ever left. For centuries, there have been many homes that were seemingly haunted by some malevolent entity, but none so sinister and evil as this house. Located in the small rural town of Apple Valley, Texas, this house had many owners over the course of its life, and each and every one of them met a grisly end inside of it. The first owner of the home was named John Bell. He moved into the house with his family back in 1824, but from the moment they moved in, things started to go wrong. First, strange sounds could be heard throughout the night. Then John started having nightmares and waking up with scratches on him. His daughters also started acting out. And finally, after months of living in the house, John Bell died under mysterious circumstances. After his death, his will read that no one was allowed to live in the house until his youngest daughter married. But after she married and moved out, the next owner couldn't believe what he was hearing. John's son inherited the home after his father's death. But when the new owner moved in, he quickly found out that this wasn't your average home. When he moved into the house, he began hearing chains dragging metal moans. At night, he would see apparitions of a man dragging himself closer and closer to his bed. And as the weeks went on, he too would wake up with scratches on his body. After just a few months, he packed up and left, never to return again. It was now 1973, and a real estate agent named Harold Stahl took over the home. And while he was planning to fix it up and sell it, he soon realized that he might have taken on more than he could handle. While working on the home, strange things started happening to him and his friends. They would find tools that they had left outside, sitting inside the house. Tools that in no way could have gotten inside without leaving a trail of destruction. One day, Harold decided that enough was enough. He called up a local priest and asked if he could bless the house and remove any evil spirits that may have been lingering within. The priest arrived and walked through the home and blessed it. As he walked upstairs, though, he turned around and saw an axe flying towards him. The axe narrowly missed his head and landed in the wall behind him. Startled, Harold and the priest ran out of the house. Harold never returned, and the home sat abandoned once again. Years later, another real estate agent took over the house and decided to hold an open house. During the open house, a mother and daughter walked through the home, and the daughter fell in love with it. She bought the home, not knowing the dark secret it held. She got out of bed and started to investigate where the sound came from. She walked down the hallway and saw a figure standing at the end of it. It was hunched over and seemed to be crying. She walked up to it, and as she got closer, it vanished. She then noticed something peculiar about the room. The wallpaper in the shape of the woman was peeling away from the wall. She looked closer. She realized that the image was of a woman crying. She ripped off the rest of the wallpaper to reveal a hidden door in the wall. Behind the door was a staircase leading down into a dark hole. Curious, she grabbed a flashlight and slowly descended the stairs. Down below her, she could hear the sound of chains dragging. Then suddenly the light flickered and went out, plunging her into complete darkness. In a panic, she turned around and started to run back up the stairs. She could hear the chains getting louder and the air growing colder. Just as she reached the top of the stairs, though, the light flickered back on. But when she shone it back down the stairs, she realized that they were gone. Startled, she quickly fled the house. She tried to forget about the stairs, but every time she thought about them, she couldn't help but wonder what lay at their end. Years later, a man purchased the house and decided to renovate it. As he walked through the home, he too felt a strange sensation wash over him. It felt as if someone or something was watching him. He shrugged it off and continued on with his work. As he walked through the hallway, though, he felt the hair on the back of his neck stand up. He turned around and saw the same apparition of a woman crying. And as he stared at her, she began to walk towards him. Terrified, he ran out of the house and never returned. After he left, the house sat abandoned once again, and it would remain that way for decades. All of this was occurring in present-day Texas, but the home had already seen hundreds of years of strange activity. In 1795, the home was occupied by a man named Thomas Smithwick, and like all the other owners of the home, he had no idea what he was getting himself into. From the moment he stepped foot into the house, he could feel the darkness that lingered within its walls. Strange sounds could be heard throughout the night, and objects would move on their own. One day, Thomas was relaxing in his chair when he heard footsteps on the stairs. He turned around and saw a man dragging himself closer and closer. The man then approached Thomas and whispered in his ear, "Leave this house tonight or you'll be sorry." Startled, Thomas dismissed it as a figment of his imagination. But as the days went on, the activity only seemed to get worse. One night, Thomas was awoken in the middle of the night by screams. He got out of bed and investigated where the screams were coming from. As he walked through the house, he could feel the temperature drop dramatically. He then heard a voice whisper in his ear, "Leave or die." Panicked, Thomas fled the house and never returned. Hundreds of years later, the home was still standing. And with each passing year, its reputation for being haunted only grew. During the 1960s, a series of unexplainable events occurred within the home. People reported seeing shadowy figures walking through the house and disembodied voices whispering their darkest secrets. Some even claimed that they could smell gas and burning wood, even though the home's utilities had long been disconnected. As the years went on, the ghost stories surrounding the home only seemed to grow, and soon it became known as the House of Screams. In the early 1970s, a group of teenagers decided to spend the night in the house. They wanted to prove once and for all that it was haunted. As the night went on, strange things started happening to them. They heard chains dragging in the attic above them. Then they started to see shadowy figures moving about the house. Suddenly, one of the teenagers screamed. He pointed to a corner of the room where a shadowy figure was standing. The teenagers then ran out of the house and never returned. From that day forward, no one dared enter the house, and it stood abandoned for decades. Today, the home is still standing, and many believe that it's cursed. If you ever drive past the home, you can still hear the chains dragging and the screams echoing from inside. Some even say that if you listen closely, you can hear the whispers of those who never made it out alive. So if you're ever near the small town of Apple Valley, Texas, make sure you don't make the mistake of staying at this house. Maybe you won't be able to leave like the others, but now it's time to make your voice heard. Which was the scariest part of this story? The ghost of the woman in the wall, or the ghost that warned Thomas to leave the house? Either way, let me know in the comments below. Also, make sure you've subscribed because I upload new videos every single day.
Thanks for watching.